What if you woke up and $100,000 of your money was just gone? Not from stocks, not crypto, from the house you live in. For thousands of Florida homeowners who bought at the peak, this isn't a bad dream. It's a financial nightmare playing out right now. The Sunshine State dream of easy money through skyrocketing home values is collapsing. The party is over, and fortunes are literally being erased. In this video, we'll show you exactly how people are losing massive equity, which cities are in meltdown, and most importantly, what this all means for you. Just 2 years ago, buying a house in Florida felt like printing money. Bidding wars, paying hundreds of thousands over asking. It was relentless. It seemed unstoppable. Then, it stopped. By mid-2025, in places like Northport, Florida home prices dropped by more than $70,000 from their peak. Homeowners in Florida are experiencing some of the biggest losses in the country. This isn't a slowdown. For anyone who bought near the top, it's an absolute disaster, a wipeout of financial security. So how did the hottest housing market in America get suddenly cold? Let's start with a group feeling the heat the most: sellers. Remember when you put a sign in the yard and had multiple offers in a week? Gone. Now, houses sitting 90-plus days just to attract one offer. In Jacksonville, Florida, almost 1/3 of all homes for sale have had a price cut. In Tampa, Florida, and Orlando, Florida, the figure is over 25%. Builders are discounting newly finished homes by up to $70,000 just to avoid sitting inventory. And if sellers can't stomach losses, they're simply pulling homes off the market. In Miami-Dade County, Florida, the rate of homes withdrawn from listings is the highest in the nation. That's not a healthy market. It's a sign of desperation. Buyers paused, sellers trapped. The market's frozen. This collapse wasn't caused by one issue. 3 major forces combined to create the perfect storm. First, the insurance apocalypse. Florida has become one of the most expensive states for homeowners insurance. Some homeowners are seeing annual premiums of $8,000 or more, especially in coastal zones. When your annual insurance bill alone approaches what you once paid for the mortgage, demand disappears. Second, mortgage rates exploded. Where 3% mortgage rates once ruled, by mid-2025 rates over 6% were common. That means monthly payments soared, even if home prices dropped slightly. The result, affordability imploded. Third, supply flood plus demand fade. For years we heard there's not enough homes. Now, many parts of Florida have more homes for sale than ever. In some regions around Miami, inventory approached 10 months' worth, well above a balanced 6-month supply. That flips leverage to buyers. Add in slower migration and rising living costs, and you've got a recipe for downward pressure. If prices are dropping, you'd think, great time to buy, right? Well, yes and no. On the upside, bidding wars are over. Buyers can negotiate. Inventory is better. But here's the trap. Even with discounts, the total cost of home ownership is still crazy. Average house price in Q3 2025, over $400,000. Couple that with elevated rates, sky-high insurance, and HOA fees, and the monthly payment still hits unaffordable levels for many families. What does that mean? Many people can't buy, so they rent. Rents in boom markets like Miami and Tampa are still very high, so you've got a market where buying is out of reach and renting remains painful. Welcome to the paradox. Is this a full-blown crash or simply a major correction? Experts are split, and the data sends mixed signals. The warning signs. In Northport, FL, prices dropped more than 10% in a single year. In places like Cape Coral, Florida, around 8% of homeowners are now underwater, owe more than their home's worth. These are big red flags. The optimistic counterpoints. Real estate industry groups argue this is not a repeat of 2008. Loans today are tighter. Large-scale foreclosures are less likely. Some markets may stabilize. the middle ground. This is probably a hard correction, not a collapse. The market is shifting from seller power to buyer power, but buyers are financially constrained. So it's a slow evolution, not a meltdown. But for many homeowners who bought at the top, it's still brutal. Florida's story isn't just local. It's a warning for the entire Sun Belt, and maybe for the nation. The days of buy the house, sit back and wait are fading. The dream of effortless home value growth is being replaced by the reality of high costs, stagnant demand, and long waits. For buyers, opportunity exists, but you need to be ready for the full cost of ownership. For renters, you have power, but your monthly bills are still heavy. For homeowners stuck at the top, this might turn into the most expensive mistake of your life. Here's what we learned today. Florida's housing boom has hit a wall. Sellers are trapped, buyers are stretched, renters are stuck. This isn't 2008, but it's a brutal correction nonetheless. The high-cost dream of easy property wealth? It's over. If you bought between 2022-2024 expecting gold, you might now be carrying a burden instead. The most important message, just because prices are dropping doesn't mean everyone wins. For many, the cost of ownership is still unmanageable. Now I want to hear from you. Are you seeing this happening in your city? Do you think it's a temporary dip or a trend with years to play out? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. If this video opened your eyes, make sure to subscribe. At BuzzFrame, we don't just report headlines, we dig into the stories beneath the numbers. Stay sharp. Stay curious. And remember, when even Florida's paradise starts wobbling, maybe the dream was a little too good to last.